Shalom, I'm Nama Ru. This is my husband, Rabbi David Ru, and we have completed an introductory series about the laws of agriculture in the Holy Land for Jews growing food. And now this is our series about the Shmita year, which is coming up, beginning this Rosh Hashanah, the Jewish New Year of 5782, in just a few months.
Last time, we looked at some of the psukim, some of the biblical verses that deal with the agricultural part of Shmita. We haven't dealt with yet with the financial part of Shmita, the sabbatical year. But I want to look at some of the rationales today, not go in depth, just a brief mention of them. First, in the Mora Nevuchim, the Guide to the Perplexed of Maimonides of the Rambam, he says, "Ve'amnam kol mitzvot asher sipharnu bahilchot Shmita b'yovel." But all of the mitzvot that we have talked about in our book on the laws of the sabbatical year and the jubilee year, לחמלה al bnei adam והרחבה לבני adam כולם. There are among them those that are for compassion to mankind and generosity to mankind. By the way, I'll post this at the bottom of the thing, so you can just press see more and you can see the original Hebrew text
Under
or
the video,
a translation into Hebrew from the original Arabic. Shammar, as it says in the verse, ואכלו אביוני עמך ויתרם תאכל, and that the poor can eat with you, and they will be lifted up when they eat. And then the Rambam gives a different reason, ושתוסיף הארץ תבואתה ותתחזק בעמדה שמוטה, and when the land rests, it will then give more in the following years. These are two entirely different reasons. The first one is a social reason, that we have to take care of the poor, and in this year they eat as long with everyone else. And I don't want to go into it right now, but in terms of the Jubilee year, people get back their land, right? It completely resets the financial arrangements of the world, because in a time when primary wealth was derived from the farmland that you had, and everyone gets back their farmland in the Jubilee year, so every family is reset to where they were, and everyone has an even playing field every 50 years.
I have to pause and ask you a question, because I'm just starting to understand this more. So the Jubilee year, every 49 years?
50
years, every 50 years. And the Shmita year, every 7 years within that. But the Jubilee year is a Torah instruction that only exists when?
When the temple is standing.
So right now, we're observing all of these because?
Well, you mean the sabbatical year in our time is rabbinic in origin now. We do not have a Jubilee at all. We don't try and count it. It doesn't exist in any way, shape, or form, and it will not until the temple is rebuilt. But the sabbatical year exists in our time by rabbinic ordinance,
Every
not from Torah
years.
law. Yes, every 7th year.
Okay.
All right. The Sefer HaChinuch from Rabbeinu Aaron Halevi in Barcelona has a different way of looking at it. Mishar Shei HaMitzvah, he says the roots of this mitzvah of the sabbatical year, Likboa b'libeinu l'tzair tziur chazak b'machshavotenu, to establish into our hearts and to draw deeply, strongly within our thoughts, inyan chidush ha'olam, the fact that the world was created. As it says, Ki sheshet yamim asa Hashem et hashmayim v'et haaretz, in 6 days God created the heavens and the earth. Uv'yom hashvi'i, and on the 7th day, Shelo bara davar, when he didn't create anything, Hichtiv, it says, Menucha al atzmo, it says that he rested. Ulaman hisir lakor ulashoresh meraranenu davar hakadmut, so that we uproot from our thoughts and our ideas, the idea of the eternity of the world. V'hu kinyan shanu motzim yemei hashavua, and this is like we have in the week. B'sheshet yemei avodah v'yom menucha, we have 6 days of work and 1 day of rest. V'lechen tziva barachu lahafkir kol ma shetotzia haaretz b'shana zu. Therefore, God ordered us to abandon everything that the land produces in this year. Milvad hashmita ba, in addition to, or other than, the resting that we do on this year. Kadei sheyizkor ha'adam ki haaretz shemotzia alav haperot b'chol shana v'shana, so that a man remembers that the land that gives out its fruits each and every year, lo b'kolcha v'sgulata totziotam, it is not because of his strength and his abilities that he brings them out. Ki yesh adon alaha, there is a ruler over it, there is a lord over it. Ve'al adoneha, v'kashehu chafetz hu mitzaveh alav lahafkiram, and when he wants, he can command to abandon them. V'yod yesh toelet, and there is another use for this. Nimtza b'davar liknot v'zeh mida tavatronut, a person acquires the attribute of giving up things. Ki ein nadiv kenoten mibli tikva el hagamul. There is no generous person as someone that gives without any hope of receiving anything back. Va'od yesh to'elet acher, and there's another use. Nimtza b'zeh hadam sheyosif adam bitachon b'Hashem baruchu. A person increases his faith in God. Ki kol hamotzi im lavo letet lahafkir la'olam kol genulai karkotav v'nachalat avotav l'gedelim b'chol shana achat. That he gives up, and the command of God saying, don't worry, I'll take care of you. Everything that his and his forefathers' land grows in 1 year. And it's showing him that he must trust that God is going to provide him with what he needs at the appropriate time, even though this year I'm not getting it in the normal way. These are some of the, not by any means all, of the rationale for the Shmita year. And we will first start discussing what are the differences in the kitchen, that there's something that everyone has to deal with. After that, we'll deal with gardens that many people have. And lastly, we'll deal with major agricultural laws. That will finish the plant side of Shmita. And then at the very end, we'll deal with the monetary aspects of Shmita as well.
And I'll just give a little update that since our first series about the laws of agriculture, understanding really that I need to make space around each type of crop. So I've now begun to do more weeding, which I wasn't taking too seriously before. So that's happening. But next year I won't be able to do that.
We'll find out, won't we?
Okay.